Day. Today is Tuesday, 2nd of January 2024. 2nd January is specially day in India and the world is celebrated as a World Introvert Day. 2nd January, the day following the dreaded celebrations of the previous year, is observed as the World Introvert in order to better understand the numerous introverts all over the world. Starting the newspaper analysis with the newspaper The Hindu states that major Japan quake kills 6, damage extensive, says Prime Minister Kishida. The scale of damage from the earthquake was still emerging, with the news footage showing toppled buildings, sunken boats, countless homes, and local without power in freezing overnight temperatures. A series of powerful earthquakes in western Japan damaged homes, cars, and boats, with official warnings people on the January 2nd, 2024 to stay away from their homes in some areas because of a continuing risk of major quakes and tsunamis. The Hindu newspaper also states that United Nations peacekeeping mission wraps up Mali deployment after being ordered out. The United Nations mission in Mali ended a decade of deployment in the crisis-wrecked country on Sunday, meeting on December 31 deadline agreed after Mali's military leaders ordered it to leave. The United Nations Stabilization Mission MINUSMA had been in place since 2013. Mali's junta, which seized power in 2020, had demanded the departure of the mission in June 2023. The Hindu newspaper also states that Guinea junta announces constitutional referendum. The junta also said that the people appointed by the state will soon be named to lead municipal councils. The head of Guinea ruling junta says a constitutional referendum will be held in 2024, key steps towards the return of civilian rule. As the Indian Express newspaper states that 3 shot dead in Manipur's Valley artistic curfew imposed. Curfew was imposed in Thoubal, Impal East, Kaching and Bishnupur districts. The Manipur government imposed curfew across the state's Valley district after 3 people were shot dead by armed men in the Thoubal district as Lilong area. More than 180 people have been killed and several hundred injured since the ethnic violence between the Meiteis and Kuki-Zomi communities broke out in the Manipur on May 3rd. The Indian Express also states that IIT BHU assault Congress flags photos posted by accused with BJP leaders. The BJP meanwhile distanced itself from the men whose social media profiles suggest that they are part of the party's IT cell in Varanasi, and said the police response to this case is a stark contrast to what would happen under previous governments. The incidents had led to widespread protests across the campus. Indian Express also states that an REGS payments Aadhaar-based system mandatory. Now government says may consider exemptions on the case basis. Congress accuses a government of weaponizing technology, especially Aadhaar. The system was first made mandatory with effect from February 1st, 2023, but through several extensions, the central allowed until December 31st, 2023, a mixed route of ABPS and NACH, an interbank system used for bulk payments such as subsidies and salaries. Indian Express also states that in Jammu and Kashmir, reward up to rupees 12.5 lakh for info on drug trade militants. Similarly, rupees 2 lakh reward has been announced for anyone providing information about the people who communicate with the militant handlers across the border or the agents with the JM&K. The police on Sunday said they would give away rewards between rupees 1 lakh and 12.5 lakh to anyone providing actionable information that leads to arrest or killing of a militant. Exposed people talking to the militant handlers helps bust narcotics smuggling modules, cross-border tunnels, or provide us information about the cross-border drone movement. The Hindustan Times newspaper states that 2023 was India's second warmest year in India on record. Commuters walk on the road amid heat wave in Patna, Bihar in April 2023. New Delhi last year was the second warmest on record for India since 1901. The Indian Meteorological Department said on Monday and predicted the month of January will unlikely have very harsh winter conditions for most parts of the country. Sometimes also states that for killed as a fresh violence rocks Manipur, Chief Minister appeals for peace. 4 men were killed and 5 others sustained critical bullet injuries in Manipur's Thoubal district on Monday evening, officials said, prompting the state government to tighten curfew in the restive state where nearly 200 people lost their lives in ethnic violence last year. Manipur has been in the throes of ethnic violence since early May last year. Sometimes also states that at least 6 dead after huge earthquake rocks Japan on New Year's Day report. The powerful earthquake that hit the central Japan on New Year's Day killed at least 6 people, as police and local authorities early on Tuesday reported cases of the bodies being pulled from the rubble of the collapsed buildings. A view of the collapsed road and houses because of the earthquake in Wajima, Ishikawa Prefecture, Japan, January 1st, 2024. Going towards the economy of the country from the business point of view, no longer looking at import duties as revenue sources or an FTA negotiation official. This comes amid internal consultations between the Finance Ministry and the Commerce Ministry to access the impact of the major duty reduction that could be announced as a part of the FTAs. Indian Express also states from the business point of view, high tariffs among reasons behind the weak export, says GTRI. The tariff discrepancy was among the factors why India's 3 key free trade agreements with the ASEAN, South Korea and Japan were not successful as per the think tank, which resulted in India's merchandise trade deficit, with these partners increased significantly more than its global trade deficit. The reasons behind India's weaker export performance including higher tariffs in India and lower tariffs in its FTA partner countries. Think tank Global Trade Research Initiative said in a report on Monday. Conversely, India has higher import duties, so eliminating these duties under FTA gives a price advantage to the products from FTA partner countries, GTRI said. Gross GST collections dropped to 3-month low of rupees 1.64 lakh crore in December. In December, the government settled rupees 40,557 crore to central GST and rupees 33,652 crore to state GST from integrated GST. As a result, the total revenue for the month post-settlement was rupees 70,501 crore for the center and 71,587 crore for the state GST. The gross goods and service tax collections declined to a 3-month low of rupees 1.64 lakh crore in December. For sales in November, data released by a finance ministry on Monday showed. What was the world news including South Korea? Politicians stabbed in the neck during a visit to Busan. Israel's Supreme Court overturns a key component of Netanyahu's polarizing a judicial overhaul. Japan earthquake aid dead country faces battle against time to rescue survivors. Tougher international student visa norms come into force in the United Kingdom. Nobel laureate Yunus sentenced to 6 months in jail by Bangladesh court. Multiple quakes in Japan damage houses, knocks out power on the west coast. Met Department says tsunami is still being recorded. Going towards the science and technology, Indian Space Research Organization launched a Gaganyaan year with the ExpoSat, India's eye in deep space. PSLV C-58 placed a satellite in desired orbit will track X-rays and celestial objects. Sriharikota Indian Space Research Organization PSLV C-58 carrying an X-ray, a polarimeter, a satellite and 10 other satellites lifts off from the spaceport of Sriharikota Monday, January 1st, 2024. Indian Space Research Organization PSLV C-58 rocket launch live updates. It's going to be a Gaganyaan year, says Indian Space Research Organization Chief. ExpoSat placed in orbit. Live updates of Indian Space Research Organization's first launch of 2024 PSLV C-58 carrying X-ray polarimeter satellite ExpoSat. Five iPhone apps that content creators should be using in 2024. These free iPhone apps can help content creators to become more productive. Top 5 must have iPhone apps for content creators in 2024. At last, there's a famous quotation said by APJ Abdul Kalam, whose full name is Ol Fakir Jainul Abidin Abdul Kalam. Birth anniversary 15 October 1931 up to 27 July 2015. Was an Indian aerospace scientist and a statesman who served as the 11th president of the India from 2002 to 2007. He was born and raised in Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu, and studied physics and aerospace engineering. He spent the next 4 decades as a scientist and a science administrator, mainly at the Defense Research and Development Organization (DRDO) and Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO), and was intimately involved in India's civilian space program and military missile development efforts. He thus came to be known as a Missile Man of India for his work on the development of ballistic missile and launch vehicle technology. He also played a pivotal organizational, technical, and a political role in India's Pokhran's second nuclear test in 1998. The first is the original nuclear test by India in 1974. Mr. Kalam says a famous quotation. He says that, I learned that once your mind stretches a new level, it never goes back to its original dimension. Okay, thank you.